Hey guys, well I wanted to get a quick aftermath video of our 86 Chevy Derby truck. This was ran out at the Williams County Fairgrounds back in Montpelier. It's been a few weeks now. This video is kind of late. We're actually getting this stuff put away for winter time storage. But at this point I just want to get a quick video to show you guys what happened. So about 3/4 of the way through the Derby I lost my steering. It actually broke right up at the steering box. I've actually already fixed it because I need to be able to drive around the yard and stuff. But the rubber had actually tore out on both sides and this piece completely separated. This was just dangling over here. So I had no steering. So that ultimately meant that I had to take shots and also put on some shots that I never really want to do. But I had to keep moving in the Derby just to stay alive, because you only have 30 seconds where we run to make a hit. Otherwise you're out. So I just had to unfortunately do that. Also, the rules required that we bolt the bumper on, which really isn't that big of a deal unless your bolts shear off, like what happened on mine. So I actually lost the front bumper about halfway through. I didn't even know it at the time, so that's unfortunate. But so I actually put on some hits that I probably shouldn't have. We got the frame rail a little bit bent here, and I think that's probably what ultimately took out my steering, was the fact that that bumper was no longer attached. Frame rail in here, that one pushed in quite a ways. This one also went off towards the side, so we'll have to get a little bit creative with the torch and stuff. And you can see it actually pulled the mounts for the core support right out of the frame there, so we're going to have to bend it back and re-bolt, put some new washers in there, that sort of thing. This core support got a lot of damage. It actually pushed it all the way around to where it's now rubbing the wheel if you turn it really hard. Engine ran pretty good overall. Still think I have a little bit more jetting than I need, but it did keep running for most of the Derby. It stalled once, and then what ultimately then knocked me out was the fact that the engine stalled and then would not restart again. So even though I didn't have steering and whatnot, I was still keeping myself moving and in the action as best I could. The motor stalled, would not restart, and that's all she wrote. I think it was partially that it got too hot, because I did lose the radiator and I kept running it anyway, and it did not really like the idea of restarting. And I don't know exactly what happened, but it seemed like the battery was a little low too, even though I'm running an Optima battery. So I'm not sure. Maybe I tend to run an alternator, so I'm guessing maybe that got lost as well. But as far as sheet metal, not a whole ton amount of damage. Nothing inside really to take note of. That all stayed all good. The back corner did bend in again in the back here, so that side went in. Sorry, I got a bit of a cold, so apologize. But it didn't come up quite as high, so I can drive that back down and pull it back out. It ripped out both the rearmost mount bolts for the bed. The rear bumper was still on, but it bent down, and so we were not able to get it. We were able to get it on the trailer, but I couldn't get it off the trailer without taking the bumper off, so I actually took the bumper off. It's just sitting here in the back as well as the front bumper. And I think what we'll end up doing is we might flip the rear bumper up upside down next year, so that way it kind of goes higher, and will hopefully help protect some of the bed, and we'll get some new all thread into the back. But I mean, for the most part the frame is still pretty solid. I'm still kind of debating whether we want to even worry about fixing this thing, or if I just might want to sell it to the next guy to let him fix it up and maybe take another run in it. It's been a good truck for us. Obviously we've got 2 runs in it. Still has a lot of life left in it, but we've also got some other fun projects that I haven't even filmed yet for you guys. Some other vehicles that we have purchased, and some new exciting things coming for next season, so that'll be a lot of fun. But still got this guy, and you can see the hood took quite a bit of damage as well when the sides got pushed in. It just V'd the hood really bad, so my visibility was unfortunately limited too, but it is what it is. But anyways, it was a fun run, a lot of fun, one of the more fun actually runs that I've had in a while. So that was great, and just fortunate I was able to still score 3rd place even though I didn't have steering, or the engine was getting hot and all kinds of other little things. So But she kept on rolling and moving, and she actually drove herself right to this spot, which is where I tried to attempt to bandage the steering. Unfortunately it broke again, so here it sits at the moment until I just before I filmed the video, I actually just put that new piece on. So we're gonna get the this thing fired back up and actually drive it to its final winter storage place. It'll be all wrapped up and tucked in with tarps, all good for the winter, and then we'll worry about pulling this thing back out in the springtime and see what we got. So, you know, if anybody has interest in this truck, you know, as much as we always like, you know, keeping the projects rolling and just fixing this stuff up, you know, everything's for sale for the right price. So feel free to shoot me an offer, send us an email or whatever if you actually have some interest in wanting to buy this thing. We can negotiate for sure, but if not, this thing will be seeing the track again with one of us in the driver's seat next year. So there you go, guys, and there's a quick walk around and aftermath of the 86 Chevy Derby truck. And not really sure where this thing will see the track, as I said. So until the next video, I guess we'll talk to you later, guys.